I know a bit of history. I know that it was originally built as the high school. It's 50 years old. Also that we haven't built a school in Kent County in over 30 years, which we are the last county in the state to have built a school. So it just puts us at like a different point, than other places. And then also we've closed a number of schools in the county. Um, and we've had, in the census, we're reducing, that age group. So uh, although I see some changes in town, I live over on Campus Avenue and Greenwood, which is like College Heights area. There's a lot of turnover in houses in that area with families moving in. And if you go out at the farmers market, or I'm also involved with River Arts and the Kids Spot program, we're seeing younger, like much younger children than we've seen traditionally. So I do think that there's some change in the county with that. And that's what my hope is, that we continue, to attract more families and like continue how this works. And I think a lot of Chestertown's a great community. Kent County is a great place to live. And you end up with a lot of the houses were built in the 50s and 60s. The same owners raise their kids there and they're aging out of those houses. And now there are families that want to live in those neighborhoods. They're well-built houses. They're close to town, easy walking distance, and all the amenities that go along with it. So there's definitely a changeover with that. And then I also think in the economy with COVID and everything, and being able to do some more work from home, we are seeing people move here that aren't as dependent on finding an employment solution in this area. Which opens it up to more people. So currently the Board of Education has three options. The one is rebuilding at the current site. So they would leave the existing building up and build on what is currently the playground and track area. The other options are both in the Worton campus. So one would be a standalone school up where the high school and elementary school are currently, and the community center. And then the other third option is adjoining the high school, which I think is the least favorable across the board. I think everybody finds that the least favorable option. I think a lot of people don't know about this. So the Board of Ed started talking about it in as far back as 2019, maybe further back than that. But I think a lot of people don't realize that this is an upcoming decision, and whether it's because they don't have children in the school system or their children are not in the school system yet and they don't understand how this is going to impact them. Again, you look at the census and our population of 55 and older, we have a large population that probably don't have kids in the school system, so they're not as aware of it. I think there's a county-wide sort of issue with communicating some of these changes, whether it's at town levels or the county level. I think a lot of people just don't know where to access this information. The county's done a great job. They have a really strong website that explains this whole thing, and we've been trying to encourage people to get educated and know what's going on. I can tell you for families in my ward that I've tried to keep in touch with, they want the school system, they want the school in Chestertown. That's part of the reason that they bought their houses. They like that the school is close to them. They want to be part of the community, be able to volunteer and be part of their kids' lives and have it be so close to their backyard. And I know that that could be perceived as selfish for people in Chestertown, but it's the truth of what I'm hearing from people in our area. So if you look at the county's website, it's Kent County Middle School Project. There's a slide deck and some information on what the estimated costs are and how that'll be funded. But it's likely the state will pay for a portion of it, and then the county will pay for the rest of it. And we would probably take out a bond. It still will be tax-generated revenue that ends up paying for that and having it amortized over whatever the period of the bond is, probably 30 years. So it will impact us as taxpayers. I do think the benefit of having a new school, we all support education and want that. I think it's like a really cool thing for Kent County and for Kent County students. On Monday night, the mayor and town council met and we formally voted on support from the town for the middle school to be rebuilt in Chestertown. There is another option that's not on their list, which is a land swap where we could find another parcel of land that's within Chestertown and then do some sort of land swap where they're able to move. We would still demolish the school at the current location and rebuild elsewhere. There are some options for that. We have not publicly disclosed the names of the people that own them, but we would like to talk through that. Chestertown wants a school to stay in Chestertown. And we are willing to help out. If it was rebuilt at the current location, Bailey Park is just across the street. We would be willing to help out with playground, soccer fields, things like that. We're already looking at developments in that park and would love to partner. The other issue that was brought up as a large expense was the stormwater situation. That is something else that we would love to have involvement with and look at a co-op solution to it. So I think what we would really like is they've talked about a feasibility study as potentially being voted on at the upcoming Board of Education meetings. We would love that, and we would love the Chestertown option that the Board of Ed works with the town so that they fully understand what options there are and how we can partner with that. So other things with Chestertown, we have the library, we have the college, we have the YMCA, which is working on their after-school programs. There's a lot of energy going into the 2023 programming. They also have the sixth grader program where all sixth graders get to attend for free. There are other nonprofits in town that offer after-school care and programming. So I think that the other thing, if the school does end up being in Worton, there needs to be a much bigger, and it's an ongoing discussion about transportation. There are not good transportation options for students to get to Worton. And full disclosure, I live 2 doors down from the middle school. I love seeing how many students and people in the community are able to utilize that space. So the park and playground area that was there, that was done as a previous co-op project. So it was done through a DNR program that is only available to municipalities. So the Worton would not be eligible for those same types of grant programs. So there are kids out there, whether it's rec league, it's during the day or after school, there's people playing on those fields, using the track, using the equipment that's out there, basketball, tennis courts and things like that. There's an outdoor classroom. It makes part of the town. Having the elementary school and the middle school in town is a huge part of the lifeblood of Chestertown.